guys, Zylria here with my first speed build in like forever. So I'm hoping to bring more speed builds to the channel. I had a lot of fun with this video, so I hope that you guys like it. So if you guys have not already, please make sure that you hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to turn on notifications so that you get notified whenever I post new videos. So you'll see I did post a couple of images of this build up on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, my Twitter is at Zylria _. But I put some posts up on, or some pictures up on Twitter because this is basically the first build that I've had any success with in what feels like forever, and it's even worse now because of the new island living stuff coming with the new expansion. I am just in a huge, I don't know, lull, I guess, from building, and nothing I build looks that great, and I'm irritated and frustrated and flustered and everything with it, but this one has turned out pretty good. It will turn out to be a tiny house. It's not like super tiny, but it's pretty tiny. I did play with these roofs for like ever. I played with them a lot, trying to figure out what I wanted it to look like, and if I wanted it to be too modern or more cottagey, the coloring I was going to go with. Like, I had a hard time. I tried to put a glass roof in there, and then when I started to mess with the other roofs, then it got all messed up, and so then you couldn't see through it anymore, and then I didn't like how the back wall was looking, so I ended up changing that, and I think I edited out the part where I struggled with it, so, it'll it works out. I tried a couple of these things underneath here because you could just tell that the posts weren't meeting up with the with the top of the roof, and so it was really bothering me. So I played around with it quite a bit. Like, as you can see, half the video so far has been how do I roof, but it does end up working out. And I think right about here is when I figure out what I'm gonna do. Yep. And then I started to look for the fencing. I was pretty sure I knew what fencing I wanted to use, but I wanted to try out some other ones. I wish it would have been faster if I had just sorted by the color I was looking for. Then I would have found something a little sooner. A lot of the times in the front, I'll try to put double posts up there, but it doesn't look very good with the rock ones. So, that's a thing. It seemed to work out. I played with the windows quite a bit on here. It's just kind of like with the way that I use the roof right there for the little greenhouse attached. It was just kind of a little weird. Not all windows would fit on there right. I had to end up changing the wall height. But I did end up finding a window, and as soon as I found the right window, it like went pretty quick. So that was good, but it looks like maybe a couple more tries. Then I turned on some cheats. I was like, oh crap, I didn't even turn on move objects. I am a professional, a professional builder. Don't worry. But this was a lot of fun, and this is the first time that I've actually done a voiceover for a speed build, so you guys will have to let me know in the comments if you enjoy my commentary on this. Maybe it's terrible and you'd rather just listen to some music and watch my build come to life. I don't really know. You'll have to let me know since it's my first one. I've never used that door before, that front door, so I was pretty excited about using that. I really wanted to color the inside of the roofs in there, but it wasn't working, so I cut most of that out. And so I tried out this darker color, and then I ended up going a little bit lighter gray. And if you may notice that in the background, when I turn the camera, there's another build on the kind of the side. And that's the one that I started to build that actually decided for me that I could accomplish a tiny house. And so then I started building this one after I felt good with the other one. I was building the other one on my own just because I thought that maybe it would be, that I would get some confidence if I just built it instead of, I'm like, okay, I'm recording this speed build, and then I struggle for 2 hours and then nothing happens. And so I built on my own, and then that other house, and then I went back and tried to do this one. So I'm just working on the layout for the kitchen here. I do end up moving a couple of things here. And I'm absolutely in love with those countertops from Jungle Adventure. I think that I'm probably going to use nothing but the new counters that we're getting from Island Living pretty soon. And so I'm going to keep enjoying the the counters that we do have from Jungle Adventure for right now, just because they're currently my favorite. I have a couple of CC items that kind of change some of the portions of the counter. So like instead of the concrete, it's like a wood countertop and stuff, which is really nice. Okay, so it looks like I'm trying to figure out the windows here. I did struggle a little bit with another window that went with this, because obviously you can't put this giant window in the bathroom. So I struggled a little bit to try to find one, but I settled on these windows, which I actually really like, and I think that they go together with the other windows. I love those windows from Get Together. I never use them in anything else, and I think it's because they're so modern feeling, and I don't typically build modern. You know, I'm more of a like, I don't know, farmhouse kind of builder, and so I build real traditional normally. And so I was having a really good time with this more modern build. It actually, I was kind of inspired by the idea of doing like an off the grid house. So you'll notice that I put in some things and then I go back and delete a whole bunch of stuff because I realize that they won't work. I think I tried to put up some lamps and stuff. And then I was like, oh wait, those aren't going to work. And I didn't actually put any building lights in here because the windows actually created enough light coming through to build, which was great. And then I just put some candles in, which now that I think about it, I think I forgot the candle for the bathroom. So if you download this off of the gallery, it is going to be missing the candle for the bathroom. So you'll have to add that in. I'm so sorry. And I played around a little bit with the bathroom, and I do end up moving it around just a little bit. But it is okay here to begin with. But I love that shower. And you know, I've always struggled with making perfectly square bathrooms, like two square bathrooms, putting a shower and a sink in here. And then I actually was watching a speed build by Miss Griffey, and she built her bathroom kind of like this. And then she said that she play tested it, and I realized that you only need like a half tile for them to get into the shower. And as soon as I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh, this has opened up a whole new world for me. And now I can actually accomplish square bathrooms, which is amazing. And I don't know why I never knew before, but for whatever reason, it just is what it is. I do end up so I uploaded this to the gallery, and then I did have to move it just a smidge because it was still kind of clipping. Because in order to get the fixtures in that bathroom, I had to use the backsplash tile that doesn't actually match the one that I put on the wall, and so it's in the wall. But unfortunately, if you have the walls half up and half down, you can see the other color. Okay, so I do end up changing out this mirror later because it's one of the things where I realized, oh crap, this is supposed to be off the grid. Those lights won't work. And right here, I really struggled with these tables. And it's just because we don't have very many tables that are small. I have noticed in some builds that that I've been seeing go up that were at EA Play, where they were building with the new Island Living stuff. I did notice that there are some more side tables that seem to be smaller. So they'll fit in this like half tile, which is really nice. I did end up going with these, which are nice. And I think that they feel, kind of a little flea market, but also a little bit, I don't know, like functional, maybe is the word I'm going for. Like they would actually be something that you would need to use at the house, which is nice. So I struggled with this chair a lot. It's funny. And this is my favorite desk combination thing now. I'm absolutely in love with using that shelf on top of that desk. Absolutely in love with it. It's wonderful. I hope that we get some more one-tile desks soon. I want some more adult ones. I feel like the two that we got, were they with Parenthood? Yeah, that gave us kind of like the teen feeling ones are wonderful, and I absolutely love them, but they just don't fit in an adult house, like a house without kids as much. But those shelves actually kind of enhance that one to make it a little better. So I played around here a little bit with trying to put stuff up on the shelf, and then nothing was working right. Nothing felt right. So I cut some of that out. But it just didn't feel right. And it's got enough stuff on it that it was fine. So I'm going to end up putting a plant on this shelf up here. And then I end up changing it way later because I was looking for a very specific plant and then I couldn't find it and I got frustrated and I moved on. And then I came back to use the right plant later. So right now I'm trying to find that shelf with the teapots and stuff, that one for Jungle Adventure. And I absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite items that came with Jungle Adventure. I absolutely love it. I also like the one that hangs with the glasses and stuff. See, so I'm looking for that plant, and I keep finding all these giant plants, and I'm like, dang it, where's that plant? And then I find it later when I was doing something for the outside, and I was like, dang it, I knew that that plant was here. And so I find that a little bit later. So we're almost done with the kitchen here. I think, no. See, I hate that shadow. So I end up with this for a little while, and then I go back when I realize the other one, I found the other one. I don't use the plants on the walls very often going up the wall, and I'm really excited that I did in this video. It worked out really well. So I knew exactly what I wanted the greenhouse to look like, you know, including the flower making table, or the flower arranging table, but I wasn't sure how I was going to run the layout. So it takes me a little bit to figure out how to do it, to get the most space. And it wasn't until I realized, oh, I actually want to put the plants right in front of the windows will work best, that I kind of settled on an arrangement. The greenhouse / sunroom is going to duo as also the living space. And so it's like the perfect space to go in and hang out, you know, maybe invite a friend over and have a drink. I did add like a lot of seating, considering that maybe 2 Sims could fit in here. You definitely couldn't, there's not even enough room for a cradle or anything if you're going to add in another Sim. Like if you're going to have a baby, you're going to have to add on to this house. And there's not even any space to put stairs to like a basement. So I don't know. I guess on the other side, you could add another sunroom instead of that big bay window, but I don't know, it'd be tricky. So I was contemplating back and forth whether or not this Sim was also going to be an artist. And then I decided that if they were going to be an artist, that they probably would end up being somebody that would do it digitally. And so I'd put in like the artist tablet. And then I got kind of stuck right here. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to add in the stuff that I 100% know I want in this house. And then I'll go back, which really helped me. This really helped me. I think that this build only took me about an hour and a half. I absolutely love those grass boxes. They're one of my favorite things in the game. And I use them a lot underneath windows, you know, kind of like as herb boxes, like if you were going to put herbs in your window. So I played around with this a little bit. I tried for a long time to try to see what I could fit in this window. And I tried some seating and chairs, and I mean, nothing just felt right. So I was like, well, I don't know. And then this tree, and I was like, well, this tree now looks crazy. It's like going through it. And then these actually ended up working perfectly. They don't clip through the bottom. They fit in there perfectly. I could fit both of them, and it just feels perfect. It felt like they belonged there. And then I decide that I want to put in a 3-person table. Again, I don't know how more than 2 Sims are ever going to fit in this house, but there might be a couple and their friend. And so they want to invite a friend over when they're having dinner, I guess, and doing coupley things. I don't know. But yeah, so then I'm just cluttering up the kitchen just a little bit. And then as I was cluttering, I found that stupid plant that I'd been looking for the whole time. And I was like, dang it, there's that plant. Shoot. I've been looking for that the whole time. And so then, you know, I add the ironing board, and I think some coat hooks and stuff get added on. And I made sure to put in some lamps out on the outside. We got the coat rack and stuff. I was debating back and forth about putting shoes and stuff on there, but then I ended up not. I didn't want to put too much clutter in here because if you watch, in just a minute, you'll see that I get to the outside. And I went a little crazy with the clutter on the outside with the plants and stuff. And I think that it made the house a little more expensive than I wanted it to be. So, you know, it is what it is. It's too late now and it's fine. I wanted to kind of keep it a little closer to the 20,000 mark. It ends up being, I think, 33. But, you know, it is a really nice, it's not like a starter tiny home. It's more like, you know, a little farther along in your life kind of start tiny home. But it does turn out really good. I'm actually really in love with this house. I really enjoyed taking the pictures later. And okay, so now we're going to work on the outside. I had a pretty clear vision of how I wanted this to look. I wanted to kind of go to the back. And then on this whole side, I want it to be, you know, like a gardening area. But not all, you know, you're going to plant it yourself, which is kind of where I mainly focus most of the time. But I felt like on the other side in the back, you could still add in some more outdoor plants. And so I just added, you know, some more garden outside. I'm so in love with that tub. I think that as soon as Jungle Adventure comes up, I'll either build another house similar to this one, or I'll put in another one. But I really want to do some open windows into the greenhouse. Some of the ones that that I've seen people using. But I'm pretty excited about that. I took out that bush there, and the flowers end up looking really good. I think that it goes really well with the build, and I'm just going to add some trees, and we're almost done with the video. I think this is about it.